Hello and welcome back to Football Weekly. This is the 2012-2013 season and yes, I've brought it back. It finished early last season because I couldn't be bothered. So I thought I'd have another go this season. So here we go. Let's give it a bash. Right, so we are, where are we? The 13th of August today. Next Saturday, the 18th, is when it all kicks off. We've got 7 fixtures on Saturday. 7 fixtures on Saturday. All teams are playing over the weekend. Newly promoted teams all in action: Southampton, Reading and West Ham. The champions, Man City, last season of course. They kick off on Sunday, as do runners-up Man United. So if I take you through the fixtures, and I'll also give you my score predictions. So yeah, we'll start like that. The first game on Saturday at 3 o'clock is Arsenal versus Sunderland. Arsenal finished third last season after starting poorly, but improved. And Sunderland, after a poor start again, under the new management of Martin O'Neill, picked up and had a strong finish to the season. Both teams have strengthened a little bit over the summer. Arsenal so far have brought in Lucas Podolski, Olivier Giroud and Santi Cazorla so far, and Sunderland have brought in Carlos Cuéllar from Aston Villa. So I'm going to predict a 3-1 victory for Arsenal to start their campaign this season. The next game on Saturday at 3 o'clock is Fulham versus Norwich. Fulham finished mid-table last season, as they usually do, and Norwich also did after coming up last season, which surprised many people because they thought they'd go straight back down again, but they didn't. Fulham and Norwich have both brought in 3 or 4 players. Fulham have signed Mladen Petric and Hugo Rodallega on frees, and Reither on a loan from some German team. And Norwich have signed Stephen Whittaker from Rangers on a free, Jacob Butterfield, Robert Snodgrass and Michael Turner. Both teams have strengthened quite well, and so to start the season I would say this is going to be a 2-2 draw. The next game at 3 o'clock is QPR versus Swansea. Both of these teams, along with Norwich, came up last season. Swansea doing the better out of the two. They finished mid-table and surprised everyone with their fluid style of football. They even secured a few victories against the bigger boys. They beat Arsenal. QPR just survived relegation on the, I think it was the last day, but they'll be looking for better this season. With that in mind, they've signed quite a few people. They've signed 7 players. They've signed Ryan Nelson, Andy Johnson, Robert Green, Junior Hoylett, Yi-Sung Park. They've got Samba Diakite on a permanent deal, and they've signed Fabio from Man United on a loan as well. And Swansea, under new manager Laudrup, have mainly signed players from the Spanish League, which is where Laudrup last managed. So they've signed Chico, Michu and De Guzman on a loan. I don't really know much about these players, but we'll wait and see if they're good or not. So my prediction for this game is a 2-1 victory for Swansea. The next game at Saturday 3 o'clock is Reading versus Stoke. Reading won the championship last season and kick off their campaign at home, which is always a good start. Stoke, although they were criticised for their style of play last season, as they have been for most seasons who've been in the Prem really, they managed a mid-table finish, so you can't really complain. Reading, as you'd expect from a promoted team, have strengthened. They've signed Gareth McCleary, Danny Guthrie, Pavel Pogrebniak, Nicky Shorey, Adrian Mariappa and Chris Gunter. And Stoke have signed Jamie Ness, Michael Kitely, Jeff Cameron and a left back called Popov on loan. So yeah, they're all good signings, especially Pogba. I like Pogba, even though I can't say his name. So for the first fixture for Reading, I think it would be tough against Stoke. So I'm going to go for a 1-0 Stoke win. The fifth game on Saturday at 3 o'clock is West Bromwich Albion versus Liverpool. West Brom last season under Roy Hodgson had a great season. Now they've got Steve Clarke in, who used to be at Liverpool, so this is quite an interesting fixture for him. And Liverpool had their league season was poor, but they won the Carling Cup and they got to the final of the FA Cup as well. So an okay season, not deemed good enough by the board though, and Dalglish was out. So now we've got Brendan Rodgers in. So a tough first test for him away at West Brom. West Brom they've permanently signed Ben Foster. They've signed Marcus Rosenberg on a free, a midfielder Jakob on a free, Al Gnassi on a loan, and Romelu Lukaku on a loan as well. And Liverpool have eventually signed Joe Allen after long rumours and speculation, and they've also signed Fabio Borini, the Italian striker. So how these players fare, we'll have to wait and see. For this game, I'm going to go for a goal fest. I'm going to say 4-2 to Liverpool. The sixth game, and the last game at 3 o'clock on Saturday, is West Ham versus the mighty Villa. Yeah! West Ham, newly promoted again. They went up through the playoffs last season. Everyone expects them to go back up, so not really a surprise there. And Villa, even though I'm a fan, I have to say it was a pretty poor season last season. Alex McLeish has got no idea, and we just survived relegation, really. So under the new manager, Big Paul Lambert, let's hope for better this season. Let's go through the transfers. West Ham have been busy strengthening the team. They've signed Stephen Henderson and George McCartney permanently after loan spells last season. They've signed Jussi Jääskeläinen on a free, Mohamed Diame. They've signed the striker Modibo Maiga, James Collins from Villa, so that's quite an interesting debut for him, and the French midfielder Alou Diarra, who played in the European Championships. So strengthening and all good signings as well. And for the Villa, we've got Brett Holman on free, Karim Al-Ahmadi from Feyenoord, Ron Vlaar from Feyenoord as well, and Matthew Loughton from Sheffield United. So both teams have been busy strengthening. Hopefully we'll see many of them new signings have a run out at Upton Park on Saturday. For this game though, I'm going to predict a 2-1 win to Villa, because I'm biased. What can I say? I'm not really, but no. Okie doke. The last game on Saturday at 5:30 is Newcastle versus Tottenham. Both teams had a great season last season. Newcastle surprised everyone and finished 5th, partly due to the striking exploits of Demba Ba and Papi Cissé. And Spurs, they got in the top 4, 5 or 6. Yeah, another good season under Harry Redknapp, which is half of the course. Newcastle have signed Romain Amalfitano from the French side Reims, Gal Bigirimana from Coventry, he's a young midfielder, and Curtis Good from some Australian team, no idea. And Tottenham, just the 2 signings for Tottenham this time. They've signed Gylfi Sigurdsson from Hoffenheim, who had a great loan spell at Swansea last season, and Jan Vertonghen, the Belgian centre-back. New manager at Spurs, Andre Villas-Boas, strengthening, as you would expect. So for this game, I will predict a 1-1 draw, because they're both quite evenly matched teams, I feel. The first game on Sunday at 1:30 is Wigan versus Chelsea. Wigan looked like they were heading down, running up to the end of the season, and then, as per usual, they pulled off a great escape and they stayed up. So hopefully they'll be hoping to secure safety a bit earlier this season. And Chelsea, yeah, they didn't have a bad season. Villas-Boas didn't do very well. Torres couldn't find his form, but when they brought in Di Matteo, he won the FA Cup and he won the Champions League as well. So he's now the permanent manager, and Chelsea fans will be hoping that the league form's a bit better this season. Wigan have signed Fraser Fivey from Aberdeen, the young Scottish midfielder, and a defender, Ivan Rami, that was meant to be going to West Ham, and then Wigan nicked the deal. Why not? And Chelsea have strengthened a lot. They've signed, well, the big signing was Eden Hazard. They've also signed Marco Marin and Oscar from Internacional. They've also signed Eden Hazard's younger brother as well, Thorgan Hazard, but I wouldn't expect him to be in the first team anytime soon. So yeah, for this game, Chelsea much better than Wigan, obviously. I would say anyway. So I'm going to go for a 3-0 Chelsea win. The traditional 4 o'clock Sunday fixture is the champions, Man City, against newly promoted Southampton. Southampton had a great first season back in the Championship last year after getting promoted from League One, and then they stormed the Championship as well and went straight up to the Prem, so well done to them. And Man City obviously won the league, which is brilliant for them. Secured it on the last day, only just when down to goals, I believe. So yeah, interesting though, Man City actually haven't signed anyone as yet, and they still look like they've got the strongest squad. How that works, I don't know, but we'll wait and see if they sign anyone. There's still a few weeks left yet until the window shuts. And Southampton have signed Jay Rodriguez from Burnley, who was on top form in the Championship last season. Stephen Davis from Rangers, who got a massive clear out over the summer, as you'd expect, with them getting done down to the 3rd division or whatever. They've also signed Nathaniel Klein from Crystal Palace, who was rumoured to be going to Man United, apparently. And a keeper from Gillingham, Gazaniga or something. Yeah, must be good. So for this game, obviously I reckon the champions will be too strong for the newly promoted team, so I'll go for a whopping 4-0 Man City victory. And on Monday night at 8 o'clock, the last game of the weekend is Everton versus Man United. Everton continued what they've been doing for the past few seasons, starting okay and getting better throughout the season, typical David Moyes. And Man United, yeah, they just missed out on the title, which will be like a shot through the heart for Fergie, I would imagine, seeing as he's won it God knows how many times. Everton have signed Stephen Pienaar permanently, and they've also signed Stephen Naismith from Rangers. Man United have signed Shinji Kagawa from Borussia Dortmund, and the young midfielder Nick Powell from Crewe, who scored a cracking goal in the playoff final for Crewe. So Man United have forked out for him. But I feel this game is always going to be a Man United win, so I'll say 1-0 to Man United. So there's your fixtures. If you can remember the score predictions rules from last time round, I can't really, but yeah, we'll see next week how I get on with them predictions. I've run you through all the transfers. Obviously, some players have left as well. Big players like Drogba, who's gone to Chinese team, whatever they're called, Shanghai Shenhua. Tim Cahill has left Everton for New York Red Bulls. Craig Bellamy's dropped down to play for Cardiff. Paul Pogba left Man United, went to Juventus. He was a top talent but I think his contract ran out or something. So yeah, obviously I'm not going to run you through everyone that's left. But yeah, there's still a few more weeks until the window shuts. So each week I'll bring you the latest transfer news and that. Just a plug for my, I know it's not Premier League, but my Championship Fantasy League that I've got running at the moment. It's the Phones for You Fantasy League. I'll get you the web address. I've started it's called your Topster League, but anyone can join really, if you want to. Anyway, it's fantasy.football-league.co.uk, and if you want to join my league, you'll need the PIN, which I believe is 4759, but I'll just check that. 4759. Yeah. You just pick your team. A team of 11, obviously, with a set budget. You score points. I've got quite a strong team, I feel. I've got Jack Butland in goal after his Olympics heroics. I've got Bruno Saltor at Brighton, who's ex-Valencia right back. Got Wayne Bridge from Brighton, who's on loan from Man City. Curtis Davies at Birmingham and Scott Dan at Blackburn, both with ex-Premier League, Premier League experience. In midfield, I've gone for youth. I've got Matt Phillips at Blackpool, Nathan Redmond at Birmingham, Jeff Hendrick at Derby, and Ben Marshall at Leicester. And up top, I've got experience in youth, Jermaine Beckford and Mason Bennett from Derby. So yeah, give that a whiz if you want. It's quite a good one. So yeah, I think that's me about done really for the first week. Yeah, as usual, tell your friends, give me a like, favourite my video. Thanks very much, and I'll see you next week.